Hello, hello! I'm the official narrator. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking at Klawf and Klawf alone. Honestly, a very silly name for kind of a goofy Pokemon, but I think I'm okay with it. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this one real quick before we even click on it. This is a combination of a bunch of different single-stage Pokemon, so just know that when it's busy listing everything else, that's why. I'm literally just going to control F it and see what comes up. I'll highlight this one for obscurity's sake because legit never even crossed my mind. I didn't know shit about it. Mario 2 is kind of a weird game, but this is what he looks like. So, an idea for you, but I wouldn't say it's one of the best ones. Honestly, when I think of obscure crab enemies from Mario, the one that comes to mind is Sidestepper, I believe. That's what it's called. The little dudes from Super Mario Brothers, the arcade version. So there's that, but even that name isn't all that great. We're going to go ahead and just start this one with a downvote because Mr. Krabs is always going to be a fucking dumb ass name. We get it. That's the first thing you think of. You have the stupid brain. I understand. I have to be patient with you. That's the world we live in. But Mr. Krabs is never, ever, ever, ever going to be a good nickname, a funny nickname, or anything noteworthy. Neither is Eugene. I get it. I also watched SpongeBob as a kid, but I also look at that and say, that's a stupid name. Pinchy, I'm not sure this is what they were intending for, but my thought was to go to Simpsons, where Homer gets a pet lobster. This is a crab, not a lobster, so if you're going to use Pinchy, I would put it on Crawdaunt first. But even then, that's not that great of a nickname either. I would question why it's on here, but Ranker has literally given up hope and just set, like, half-programmed robots to come up with shit, so Ranker doesn't make sense anymore. It just gives... Ranker literally just exists so I can bully them at this point. But Toph is one that, you know, it's good as a ground-type nickname, not a Klawf nickname. The best example is always going to be Excadrill because Toph learns Earthbend from the Badger Moles. I'm saying this shit too much, it gets annoying. If you want to do a Santa Claus crab joke, do Sandy Claus, like from Nightmare Before Christmas. That one's going to work a little bit better. I think that one could fit, because it's like, you could go a little bit step further and be like, oh, well, ground type. And it's like, yeah, but take what you can get. It could probably learn something like Sand Tomb or Scorching Sands or something like that. I don't know its moveset, but if you could put that on there, there's at least that extra bonus. Plus, I've heard the argument that ground and rock types should basically just be merged into one. You know, I don't think I've actually seen Krusty Krab before in these episodes, but I do feel like that's a step above Mr. Krabs. So, if Mr. Krabs is a negative 100 out of 10, this is like a negative 90 out of 10. So it's like, it's better, but I'm still not crazy about it. Alright, well, these two are together, so I guess I can just bully it together. Naming it Dwayne and or The Rock is also never going to be funny. Like, we get it. You were dropped on your head as a child, you make stupid jokes that nobody laughs at, people might just smile and clap out of pity, but it's always going to be a bad choice. Back to our favorite games fact article that I literally look at pretty much every single time I record Narrator. Cancer is actually what I used for Kingler. That was just based off the astrological sign. This is the only other crab Pokemon that I know about. Again, the closest comes to mind is what? Crawdaunt. So if this episode doesn't help you, maybe consider taking a look at those two. There's probably another crab Pokemon that I can't think of. But yeah, Cancer, Astrology, I feel like it only makes sense considering we have Taurus. So there's that. And there was something in Black and White where they had astrological signs, but I don't remember which Pokemon represented Cancer. I want to see what this is. What? Is this his name in a different language? Spanish, I guess, based off that. Okay, well, at least we'll learn something, I guess. At this point, I'm only putting this in the video just so you have something to look at and fill in the void a little bit. Alright, well, we've reached the bottom, and that was actually significantly less than I thought. I was like, yeah, Toadscruel wasn't shit, but Klawf will probably have some ideas. No, Klawf didn't. Klawf was also non-existent. Between both of these episodes, it's been 21 minutes of recording. Toadscruel was like 12 minutes, so this has been 9 minutes so far. So Klawf has no love at all. The only thing I had written down was just Cancer, and I wrote that down because of that GameFAQs article, because I was so naive to think that I wouldn't come across that GameFAQs article ever again. No, I come across it all the time. We do have comment suggestions for you, though. Klawf, Mr. Krabs, Crab Meat. Predictions. Well, you predicted at least Mr. Krabs correctly. Crab Meat, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking of like Fallout and Dog Meat, so I'm not sure why that one. Klawf fight to the death, and Zoidberg's Futurama, I think mentioned before on Caught Up. Yeah, to me, that's another one where it's like, I don't know, I don't feel like we come across Futurama-based nicknames too often, but that also just doesn't feel Clamps. That one comes up every now and again. I don't know, to me that doesn't feel like it's special or worth a damn at all. Zoidberg's probably one we come across as well all the time. Yeah, I don't know, it doesn't gravitate towards me. Cliff, generic rock name. Nose hair crab, and the one I personally like here is the fact that technically Klawf does have an official nickname. It is referred to as the Stony Cliff Titan, so you could actually use that. I feel like there was some other game, I might say either Galar or Alola, where certain Pokemon had specific titles to it. Maybe Arceus, I don't know. But that's a direction you can lean in. Technically, these Pokemon have official names. Keith Flint. Who's Keith Flint? Isn't that Sandman? No, it's not. The Prodigy. Okay, well, I learned something. I don't know, I thought about Sandman from Spider-Man. I think it was Flint Marco was that. Okay, well, there's at least a nice backstory for it. I'm fine with music-based references, be it musician or if you could pick the song, that's also good. You could also do an album, though. I feel like that's even less common than naming after a song. An idea, a direction for you to take. Again, we will recommend the Kingler episode and the Crawdon episode because I feel like those are probably the next most relevant Pokemon. If you could think of something that I don't and you're like, oh, well, this is similar to Klawf, take a look at that too. Any other ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones you think are good. Let us know what you'd use or recommend. And let's give this doofy looking motherfucker an actual decent nickname because Google's not.